Alrighty, I absolutely love doing these kind of videos with you guys. It is such a unique opportunity for us to converse, okay, without me actually chatting to you in real life. Every now and again, I give you guys the opportunity to ask questions to the channel, and I'm going to do my very best to answer them. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to cue up some lekker music, okay, Afrikaans word of the day for you newcomers, because we've got a bunch of you. I'm going to try bring Afrikaans word of the day back. Again, lekker means just all around good vibes, okay? We're gonna cue up some music and I'm gonna run through these questions and I'm gonna try and answer as many questions as I can. So without further ado, bah! Let's do it. One of our patrons asked, have I got any plans to hunt bushbuck? Absolutely, I'd love to hunt a bushbuck. I think that 4570 project of ours would be a really good fit for that. Bushbuck are notoriously dangerous antelope and they've hurt a lot of people because generally speaking, you're hunting them in very thick bush. And it's very close range shots, and these guys are considered pretty aggressive. So yes, I'd love to hunt a bushbuck. The opportunity just hasn't been there yet. Cat goes outdoors. Cat, thank you very much for your question. What is your dream bucket list hunt? Man, for me, I would have to say it's a toss-up between elk in America, like a proper elk, or one of those giant red stags in the mountains of New Zealand. Now, I want to do this the right way, like hike up the mountain, stay there. I don't want it to be an easy adventure, which a lot of these places seem to be. Obviously not public land in the US, but let's say, for example, the New Zealand thing. I have chatted to some outfitters, so the ball is rolling on that. We'll see, but that would be, I think, a dream hunt for me. Now, I got a bunch of questions with regards to watches when I put out this Q&A, and funny enough, the one is, what watch are you wearing? Today, nothing. For whatever reason, I was editing most of the day, so I didn't wear a watch, but I love my watches. And one of the other questions, which we'll get to too, is what is the newest watch in my collection? I recently got a Rolex Pepsi, which I'm super pumped for, on the Jubilee bracelet. And if you know anything about watches and collecting watches, you know that this is what a lot of people would consider the hardest watch in the world to actually buy. So I was very, very, very lucky to get one of those. And yeah, onwards to the next question. Long range 308, what bullet should I be using? 150 or 168 grain? I would possibly lean towards the 168 grain. That really differentiates the 308. Otherwise, if you're shooting 150s, you might as well shoot 140s and have a Creedmoor. Whoo, that one's gonna upset a bunch of people. Do I have a 7 PRC on the way? Absolutely, I have a 7 PRC on the way. I have pretty much everything. I've got the barrel from our friends at Carbon 6. I've got my bullets. I've got 7 PRC dies over here. And the barrel's at Gavin's from Ultimate Reloader's house. He is just waiting on my new Wombat action to come in. And we are doing 7 PRC. I am absolutely pumped for that project. Nice try. Somebody asked for my credit card number and the 3 numbers on the back. Ha! Psych. My wife already has that, and yeah, I won't make that mistake again. What is my favorite animal to hunt? Man, I would say, actually this doesn't say hunt. This says, what is your favorite animal to shoot? If it's hunting, it's kudu. If it's shooting, it's baboons. Scott Peterson, again with the watch stuff. What is my favorite watch? I would say the Pepsi. The Pepsi's stunning. The Jubilee bracelet, I love it. If you had to choose one caliber to do it all, what would it be? If only I'd made a video on that before. Have I tried out the Fury AB? Yes, I have, and I like it a lot. In my opinion, do I think a 60-inch Kudo bull is big? I would say yes. Muzzle brake or tuner brake, and why? Well, personally for myself, I shoot muzzle brakes. I know how to load for my rifles. My rifles all shoot great, so I kind of just keep things simple. If you guys want to learn about reloading, we do have online reloading courses. I know there's a bunch of people new on the channel here, so maybe I should give you guys an opportunity. I'm going to throw on a coupon code here, and you can use that for any of our courses, whether that be precision rifle, our introduction to long range course, or our multiple load development and loading for precision rifle courses. If you can load well, I do not see the need for a tuner. I know a lot of people love the tuners, but if you make good ammo, then you don't need a tuner. What I do think tuners have value in is if you're shooting factory ammo or 22 rimfire and you need to tune a load to your rifle when you don't reload. That's where I kind of see the benefit to that. Base caliber for hunting and long range shooting. Now, this is very much a how long is a piece of string question. I kind of find that a 7mm is the sweet spot. Probably nowadays I would lean towards 7 PRC, maybe 6.5 PRC. It's gonna give you a lot of bang, a lot of knocking power, and it is a phenomenal cartridge out to long range. If you can shoot these 190 grain long range hybrid targets, for example, around about 2,900 feet per second, that is an absolutely winning recipe for long range shooting. There's also obviously great hunting bullets available in those sort of weight ranges, and I do think that that is the sweet spot. You want to ask if we will see some more handgun stuff on the channel. I would love to. Honestly, when I just visited Vortex, I absolutely love shooting handgun there. It was so fun. Chris was one of our instructors there. Man, that guy can shoot. He taught me a bunch of things and I immediately saw a ramp up in my skill. So yeah, we'll probably see some more handgun stuff this year. It's literally, for me, it's a matter of time. I don't always have the time to make content. If it was up to me, I would just make videos for you guys. But it unfortunately isn't the scenario, and on the back end of that, it's pure chaos because I just don't have the time, but I would love to. I really enjoy shooting my handgun, and possibly some more content on that in the near future. M4A or MRAD, personally for me, I shoot MRAD on everything. I've done a video on the difference. Maybe I'll link that for you guys at the end. I just feel for us, especially in South Africa, and your name is Dirk Ace, so you're in South Africa, MRAD's the way to go, China Bean. Is a 308 enough for a Kudo or a Wildebeest, okay? For a hunter just starting out? I think it's enough, definitely, for a Kudo. A Wildebeest is a funny thing, okay, or a wildebeest is a funny thing. They don't call it a poor man's buffalo for nothing. So if you don't shoot that thing perfect, it's going to be a hell of a long day. So with a Wildebeest, I have seen them drop in their tracks with the 6.5 PRC. So yeah, a Wildebeest is a tough son of a gun. Ooh, this is a really good question. In shooting, how important do you think general talent and skill is versus equipment? I think if I gave Jerry Michalak a clapped out Glock 19, he would outshoot 99% of the people on this planet, probably more than that. And the same story goes, if I gave a rifle that groups under an MOA to one of the top precision rifle shooters, they will smoke most people at matches, in precision rifle matches. Then let's tackle the talent and skill. I think talent you're born with, skill you can develop. And in this sport, it's more of a skill-based sport than a talent. You know, you can very easily learn these techniques to become a proficient precision rifle shooter. And luckily for you guys, I have, in my journey of becoming one of the top precision rifle shooters in the country, literally documented all the little tips and tricks that I use along the way, how to hold the bag, how to set up your rifle, all those things are available in my precision rifle course. And again, if you use this coupon over here somewhere, you guys will get a nice saving on those courses. So I look forward to teaching you in lesson 1. 243, what do I think about it? I think the 243 was great. Nowadays, I just buy a 6 Creedmoor. If you don't have a 243, don't buy a 243. Buy one of the modern cartridges. The 243s, the 7 Rem mags, the 300 Win mags, all of those old school cartridges that were great many years ago have been vastly improved on, and they're modern alternatives. Let me know if I should do a video on the modern alternatives of classic cartridges that you've come to know and like. Again, there's going to be opinions on this, but the facts don't lie. Modern, longer bullets need to be seated out longer, and with older designs like the 243, to stay on the SAMI spec that these rifle manufacturers need to stay on to produce these rifles, you're going to need to push your bullets in to the bloody power column, which is not great with the long bullets and will inherently lead to a rifle that is not as accurate as it could be. So I hope that helps. What do I think about the 22 Creedmoor? I'm pumped for it. I love the 22 Creed. I'm excited for it. There's gonna be a 22 Creed on the channel. My license is in. It's coming. Oh boy. And it's coming in multiple forms. Jesse, I love this. Have I ever used somebody else's butt crack as a tripod? It depends in what setting. 6.5 PRC Savage Mod 110, mostly for hunting. I think the 6.5 PRC is a lovely cartridge. I'm not crazy about the Savage actions, so possibly look at it in a Tika or something like that. Again, Savage actions, like, it's not wonderful, I'm not sold. But it's good value for money, I guess. Best caliber for long range Bushbuck or shooting RX. If you have to ask what the best caliber is to do this, you shouldn't be shooting long range Bushbuck or RX. If you want to see early access and raw edit versions of our videos, usually filled with my wildly inappropriate sense of humor that's not family friendly on YouTube, why not consider joining the channel as a member? It really helps us out a lot. It helps us produce more content, make more videos for you guys, and continuously upping our production quality. Hit that little join now button and we'll see you over in the member section. Oh no, this one's terrible. One must go. Cars, guns, watches, or YouTube? Probably gonna go for watches. Gotta drive. Just gotta get places, man. Classic one from Willem. Do you like pina coladas? Thank you, Willem. Do I plan on making any videos with my Howa 6.5 PRC? I don't own my Howa 6.5 PRC anymore. I used that to film one of our long-range courses. It worked out great. The rifle shot absolutely lights out, but no, there won't be further content on the channel with that specific rifle, unfortunately. Recommendations for a Strock alternative. I would have a look at GeoBallistics. Obviously, Strock is no longer available on the App Store because of politics and stuff. I actually spoke to the owner of Strock about 2-3 weeks ago to try and figure something out with him, but we couldn't get to a place without somebody going to jail. So now you have to try GeoBallistics, which I really like. Fun fact, GeoBallistics is also owned by Vortex. It's very user-friendly and almost all of the same features are there that Strock had. Let me know if I can make a video for us how to set up GeoBallistics for your rifle. What is the best way to try and get a sponsorship? This is a question I get a hell of a lot. Guys, you cannot get a sponsorship if you don't add value. You need to add an exceptional amount of value. For me, I started as a sponsored shooter. I was winning matches pretty much wherever I showed up. It was a great time for me. I was absolutely on fire, but I put in a ton of time and an incredible amount of money to get 20% off scopes, which would be considered a sponsorship here, right, for a long time. And the reality is, in South Africa specifically, you're probably going to spend more money shooting than you'll ever get in terms of saving on components because you're sponsored. So it's a little bit of a catch-22, but it's cool to say you're a sponsored shooter. Would I ever come to Australia or New Zealand? I'd love to. I've been working a lot with the guys from Annealing Made Perfect. And again, as I said earlier, I'd love to do that red stag hunt. So, and New Zealand's freaking gorgeous. So I'd really just like to visit New Zealand. Not looking forward to the flights to New Zealand for when I do that, but that kind of is what it is. Next question. What is my favorite movie? Whew, it's a toss-up. It depends. If it's all round, like ticking all the boxes, drama, a little bit of comedy, some romance, action, I'd probably have to go Pearl Harbor. You younglings, if you haven't watched Pearl Harbor, highly recommend it. Michael Bay at his best. Is a Ruger precision rifle in 308 a good setup to start doing competition with? No, it's not. The Ruger precision rifle is a lovely platform. The 308, however, has had its day. Now, having said that, you guys might be surprised to find that I have a custom 308 coming just to prove that it can also still work. But there are now better things. For example, my first rifle I ever had was a Ruger precision rifle chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. There are a plethora of videos on YouTube explaining to you why a 6.5 Creedmoor is ballistically superior to a 308 in terms of shooting competitions. So go check one of those out. Maybe I've made one. I don't know. Can't remember. It's been a while. How's the wrist? Now, for those of you that don't know, I broke my wrist a few years ago, had surgery then. Recently had another surgery. I believe it was in Feb or March. And my wrist is actually bothering me quite a bit still. I was hoping the surgery would solve that problem. It hasn't. So I've kind of back to square one, I guess. It's very frustrating. So every night I'm doing like every night I'm doing rehab stuff with weighted crunchy things for my wrist. That almost went south quick. Do we have impact bolt knobs in stock? Now, we don't have impact bolt knobs in stock, but at my store, impactproshop.net, okay, we're the #1 rated outdoor and hunting store in South Africa. If you guys are in South Africa and you're still buying from the big box stores, please stop that. Hit us up at impactproshop.net or drop us a WhatsApp. We'd love to help you. We have a price match feature. If you find something cheaper elsewhere and we can match it and it's in stock, we want your business, and it goes a hell of a long way to helping me produce more videos for you guys. So if you've ever learned something from our channel or find value in the stuff that we do, whether that's shooting baboons or teaching how to reload, please support our store, Impact Pro Shop. We really appreciate you doing that. And to circle back, we've got those MBT bolt knobs in stock, sir. Yes. Opinion on the 6x47. So this is the neck down 6.5x47 Lapua cartridge. I think it's a phenomenal cartridge. It's very much Dasher territory or 6GT territory. You're gonna absolutely love it. Phenomenal cartridge. More on that in a future video. I am planning something based on that case, and you guys will see a bunch of that on the channel. I had some meetings about that this week and I'm super pumped to bring you a new cartridge. How's the FJ60 build coming? Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm restoring a 1982 FJ60 like the one you see in the Terminalist. I do believe that was a FJ62. However, mine's been a bit of a shit show, to be honest. They stole the V8 motor that I'd put in it when it was busy being reconditioned somewhere. And the whole project has taken almost 2 years now. I believe it's close to finished, but I've heard that little jingle a few times. So it is what it is. I haven't sold it. It's in the works and I'm super pumped. And once it's done, you guys will see it. Don't worry. I'm very, very excited for that. But it has turned into, as you can imagine, very much just a bottomless pit of pouring money into it. How's my 4570 government project coming along? It's coming along not well. The last time I touched that rifle was when I showed it to you guys in a video. And that's very much a case of just my schedule has been so busy from being to Namibia, going to America, going back to Namibia in the next couple of weeks, then going on a hunt. And it's just been like this all over the show thing. So I'm very much looking forward to going into a quieter phase, which I just don't see happening because it's always like the one event to the next event to the next event. And it currently just feels like it's a never-ending series of big things that's on the pipeline. And I don't get time for the little things like doing load development on my 4570 and finishing that project, which I'd really like to do, and finishing the 6.5 Creed Howa carbon project, which I also want to do. So all of these things are in the works. It's just a time constraint. As I said, I'd love to just make videos for you guys, but unfortunately that's not how the world works. New baboon hunt video. I recently traveled to Namibia, as I said before, and I did shoot a baboon offhand like this with a 7 Rem mag. That video is going to be pumping. Should be available in the next month or so. 6.5 Sherman short mag or 6.5 PRC. Personally, that's an easy answer for me. I've gone Sherman short mag purely because I can load the 156 grain burger bullets, which I like to shoot when I hunt optimally in a short action. The 6.5 PRC runs into issues on a short action when you're shooting long bullets, similar to the 7 Sahum does short action ultra mag. It runs into issues if you're shooting 180 grain bullets and you want to seat them optimally. Therefore, you're better off going to a medium action. Now, if you're buying something off the shelf, there is a reason Howa, for example, did the 6.5 PRC on a long action, because on a short action, you'd run into feeding issues and have to single load for your 6.5 PRC, which kind of defeats the purpose. And that is why I went 6.5 Sherman short mag. Now, if you want more information about the Sherman cartridges, they've got a website. I will throw that up on here. I believe it's ShermanWildcatCartridges.com. And they've also got a great Facebook group, which is very insightful. So I've loved the Shermans. All of them absolutely hammer for me. And by the way, I get better performance than a 6.5 PRC from a smaller case because it has that 40-degree shoulder. So it's basically an Ackley improved and a little bit shortened 6.5 PRC. Sounds like a mouthful. Possible review of the Vectrix, you possibly getting your own. Yes and yes, I'm heading back to my friend's place. I will do a overview, walkthrough video for you guys on that gigantic rifle that we shot out to 2 miles. We're probably gonna try and shoot it out to 4 kilometers. So that's super cool. And then this morning, I actually placed the order for my Vectrix 375 Shy Tag. So super pumped on that. And obviously I'll have a Vortex on mine. And when I do the review for my friend's one, I'll slap a Vortex on that too, because I can. Pistol related, red dot or no red dot on carry. And then my opinion on the Hollow Suns. So first of all, I've got zero experience with the Hollow Suns. They seem to have some cool stuff out. I'm a Vortex guy, as you guys know. I've been a Vortex guy since day one, and I carry a red dot on most of my pistols actually. I just think it is the way of the future. They're easier to shoot. They're more difficult to learn to shoot if you have previously learned to shoot with iron sights, but it's a repetition thing. So in the mornings when I put on my pistol for the day, I will do a few draws and just practice like picking up my dot like that, and it becomes very instinctive very quickly. So yeah, red dots for me. Entire timepiece collection vid. I've done a video on this on my other channel, which you have to go search for Impact Live. I'll throw this up here somewhere, but I did a timepiece video for you guys on my other channel. Go subscribe there, please do. Oh man, I love this question. I would kind of go down the philosophic rabbit hole often if I could. Which people did you study and learn from to become the person you are today? Now, first of all, my father left us when I was like 6 years old, and he's right. So I didn't have that father figure. I was very fortunate that my mom remarried and my stepdad came into my life, and I learned a ton from him about business and entrepreneurship and stuff like that. And what's really, really cool for us nowadays is we have access to some of the greatest minds in the world on YouTube, where you could literally watch thousands, unlimited content about various very influential people and very successful people. So I think nowadays more than ever, all you need is an internet connection and an open mind, and you can learn and upskill yourself a hell of a lot. But being the person I am today takes a lot of work, and I fail every day where I'll lose my temper over something silly, and that's just kind of part of being human. And as long as you're aware of that and you can manage that, then I think we're on an upward trajectory, which is ultimately the goal. Thank you for that question. I like that kind of stuff. What would you recommend is better, FX Impact or doing a custom build on a 22 long rifle? Personally, I think you're gonna waste your money if you do a custom 22 long rifle. Here's the thing, there's so many good 22 long rifles available off the shelf. If you get a Voodoo, for example, those things will shoot freaking great. The new Vectrixes, the Bagara, there's so many good options. I mean, I shoot a CZ 457, 455, the older one still. Mine absolutely shoots way better than I could ever shoot it. If you're in South Africa, you might be better off getting an Impact, because you could start shooting the next day. You wouldn't have to go through the license rigmarole and all those kind of things. So some food for thought. Rather spend your money a little bit more wisely, get a really good optic, and just get it off the shelf 22. It's gonna shoot way beyond most people's capabilities. Have I still got my 223 Remington? In fact, I don't at the moment have a 223 Remington. I sold it to Skulk, who keeps buying my rifles that shoot really well. So Skulk has purchased my 223 Remington for quite a while ago. I do, however, have an application in for a custom Bat Machine 223 Remington that should resurface on the channel. For the guys that have been with the channel for a long time, I love shooting myself some 223 Remington. It's such a fun little cartridge. I've probably hunted more stuff with the 223 Remington than all of my other cartridges combined, to give you some perspective. Absolutely love the cartridge. Super easy to shoot, super easy to load for. Just what's not to love? RX, XRS, LSS, Gen 2. Which one of those three should I get? Honestly, I would probably lean towards the XRS. I'm just a little biased. I love the XRS since day one. It's got sort of that in-between feel. I would 100% throw the RX out of that mix. It's probably gonna be XRS for me. What scope do I have on my dasher? I shoot a Vortex Gen 3 Razor on my dasher when I'm shooting precision rifle. If I'm hunting, I shoot the Razor LHTs. They are phenomenal little hunting scopes from Vortex. Just under the 40 grand mark for us here in South Africa. Awesome little optic. Have I gotten any new rifles? Goodness gracious, have I got new rifles. There are a plethora of new applications in with the police. So yeah, lots of content coming very soon, guys. It's gonna be pumping. This is such an important question. For your first scope, is it a buy once, cry once scenario, or settle for mid-range scope, but buy plenty? So I think you need to buy quality the first time around. And this week, actually, I saw in some secondhand groups, guys selling optics that are sort of not no-name brands, but like not the big kind of brands, the Night Force, the Vortex, and those kind of things, you know. And I saw the values absolutely tumbling versus what those things retailed for not too long ago. To give you an idea, when I just got into shooting, I bought myself a Vortex AMG, which was incredibly expensive at the time. And I sold that scope about 3 weeks ago for considerably more than what I paid for it in what was a 2016-17. So if you buy the right brands and you buy the right glass, it's always going to keep its value. So that is an undeniable factor that I take into account when I'm shopping for glass. Thoughts on the Trigger Cam 2.1? Man, guys, I don't like this thing. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. I think it's expensive for what it is. I think it trashes your eye relief. I think it's a really poor design with the way it's been executed. For example, the little lights on the side, the fact that there's a blue light blinking when it's recording and not a red light, as literally any other device in the world does. There was a bunch of design things there that I felt that they missed on. It is a really good training tool, okay? Once you get it set up right, and you have to be very on top of your focus and your parallax on your scope to get a good image out of it. But I do feel for the money it could be so much better. So I'm hoping there's more players coming to the market that's really going to up the game, because for me obviously it's a great tool to show you guys what I see, But personally, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would never use it. This next question comes from Christopher. How do I deal with negativity on the channel? I watch your channel often and I often share your posts in the group. It's certainly an interesting question. I think there's a certain percentage of people that will hate a video no matter what, but they'll still click on that video and then leave a negative comment. So for those kind of people, you're never gonna win them over, right? There's absolutely nothing you can do. And I'm very focused on myself and I don't focus on any negativity at all. I want as little negativity in my life as humanly possible. So I literally pay no attention to those people that are completely irrelevant to me. And I think that's probably the best course of action for these kind of people, because there's nothing you can do to change their mind. They've probably not got a lot going on in their life and they're just looking for something to stir and try and get some attention to themselves. So just don't pay them any attention. That's my advice. Alrighty guys, boy, did we cover some questions. There were a few questions that sort of repeated themselves. There's a few questions that go into brands and stuff that I'm not familiar with, and I never want to pretend to know something that I don't know something about. Okay, so if you're asking me about an Arcan optic, this model, that, I don't know those brands. I have zero experience of them, so I don't want to give you guys an opinion on them. And fun fact, I actually watch very little to no shooting videos on YouTube, because by the time I publish a video like this one, I've seen it 74,000 times. Okay, so when I watch YouTube, I'll watch some random thing about watches or cars or whatever the case may be. So I don't watch any reviews or stuff like that on other brands. I'm vaguely aware of what's going on in the market, but I don't sort of deep dive into other brands. So if I've ignored your question and you ask one of those questions, I'm sorry, I just can't get to all of them. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being part of this journey. It's so freaking cool. The experiences I had this month, last month, because of this channel and the doors that it's opened up has been unreal. And I just want to thank you guys very humbly from the bottom of my heart. You guys are 100% the reason I get to do this, because you've watched these videos, and I'm forever grateful for that. Now with that said, God bless you guys. He has blessed me and my family phenomenally well. If you don't know my backstory, I literally turned around from bankruptcy and we've built a phenomenal series of businesses over the last couple of years, and I'm forever grateful for you guys supporting those businesses. Let's wrap it up. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.